Hi guys. So today I'm just drawing one of my characters from the Archive D&D series. I basically gave up on playing as Tiger Boy and decided to make a new character who is infinitely more fun. I'm playing as a dead guy, but he's not a dead guy. He's sort of a book. You'll see as we get into this sort of video. Right now you're just seeing me in the basic stage trying to work out what a human body looks like because I don't draw many of those, so we're currently going the face, so it's like a lot of the boring stuff, the ugly stuff of art, the time that takes 5 years, then you're like, do I want to continue this? Maybe not. Just sort of getting through it. I'm trying to figure out what the book is supposed to be like, how it's supposed to hold them up. It's like, I find drawing dead bodies a lot harder than drawing regular bodies, plus the pose is a book holding a body up above the ground, like a centimeter off the ground, so like where do you really find a reference for something like that? So I sort of just like, I looked up images of, I think it was people being held, or like, I searched up dead body, but it didn't really give me the, what I was looking for. It didn't give me anything really, so I couldn't use any of that as a reference. I don't usually look up dead bodies for reference. It was just a unique situation. So just going into here, we're working on the hairline. This character's name is Maimort L. It's for all you cool cats and kittens that got that reference. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. He's supposed to be like a Necronomicon. That's why like it's supposed to be like I'm playing as the book. So basically, the book is a parasite that's like eating this like almost dead guy's like life energy and like trying to bring out the end of the world. It's really complicated, but I just like playing a dead guy who's like weird and unsocial, so that's kind of like where I'm getting most of my fun in this playthrough. I sort of wanted to like echo to those like themes of Cthulhu and sort of like the old ones by sort of making the cape like float ominously and have like squid tentacles, even though Cthulhu was an octopus. Here you see me trying to fix the head because I have no clue what I'm doing as an artist. Yeah, that's what a neck looks like. And fixing the hair too because it looks like a bread puff. So the character I'm playing is basically like a wizard, which is fun. I was trying to figure out, okay, I'm playing as like a book, but like in combat, how is that gonna work, you know? Because I'm a book. Like, if my main body takes damage, do I take damage or do I not take damage? So I've sort of decided, instead of like of the book like holding up a dead guy like a puppet or a Weekend at Bernie's kind of dealio, ignore that tentacle, it gets fixed later. I wanted to do sort of like a almost dead, sort of talking through the body. So like every time my character talks, he sort of like, his lips sort of like almost open and then you hear sound come out. So that way, like, if you manage to kill Mort, I guess his name for short is, if you manage to kill him, then you're killing the guy, not the book, you know? I don't know. I thought it was an interesting concept. He also eats books. Like, if there's just a book in front of him, he'll consume it. I just thought it was fun and quirky. I thought my little book boy could be fun and quirky like that. He's also like an ice. I wanted to like make an ice wizard, but I wasn't quite sure how to make an ice wizard. So I was looking on Tumblr for like builds because I'm not like really knowledgeable on how to make a D&D character. So this is sort of like the first character I've officially made, like paper and rolling and everything. So I'm kind of proud of him, kind of attached. Probably will die more than he already is. So I looked up on Tumblr, for some reason it was there. Like how to make what would you recommend for an ice wizard? And I pretty much put all of that into this. So he's like a tiefling, an ice tiefling. I think he's from Levi. It's complicated. I don't want to get into it. But from the like Levestis species. Yeah. So he's like a cold tiefling. His skin is like blue. You'll see it when I go to coloring. I'm right now working on some line art, which looks pretty good, except this takes me a couple times to sort of figure out what I want his hair to look like. I know I wanted like a mullet sort of effect. so I gave him like bread rolls instead. So I gave him a mullet. Yeah, that's me trying to pull up the old art so I can see what his head looks like. So we got that, and then we get that, and sort of looks like a helmet, but I keep working with the hair until it looks decent. I think it looks decent. This is a really weird way of doing the hair that I decided to do here, which was just erase and add and erase and add. In the campaign, there are 3 tieflings. I'm one. Damris is another one who I will draw, and Criella is another one that I've drawn, and I just have to do the voiceover for. Yep, working on that collar, getting those big shoulder pads because I need that as a wizard. This is like kind of the second iteration design of Mort. When I first drew him, he didn't have a name, so like since he was sort of like a book, I wanted to do like haha Maimort L fanfic, hee, and he's like an emo dead guy. That could be fun. So that's the name I got. My other name was Not a Dead Guy because I thought that was hilarious. See, that tentacle kind of looks better. Kinda. There was supposed to be a tentacle that you could see peeking through from beneath his legs, but unfortunately I just didn't do that for some reason, which is odd. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm doing. I'm adding a trim to his cloak here. This is my first time doing a voiceover, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to talk about, like about the drawing. These little meat potatoes that I've drawn as hands, trying to figure out how to make those look like a decent hands, because I don't know, I like to cheat my hands. I don't like putting a lot of effort into them, because like hands are an afterthought for me. I wish we could go back to the days where we just hid hands behind like the backs of characters, but unfortunately we can't go back there. Here's me trying to figure out how this little boy pant works, and I feel like I've given him really like human proportions for him being a tiefling. Like even in his eyes, they're not like how a tiefling's eyes look. In the drawing I did of Criella, she sort of has more tiefling eyes, and I'm sure I'll give Damris more tiefling eyes. But like I'm sort of like playing that off like, ooh, the book is like trying to emulate that he's alive by putting a little like light in his eyes, but it's like so dim that he just looks tired all the time. Here's me doing some of that pant detailing, which is nice and cool. My little loafers on. He's like, I wanted to make a nice character. I thought it'd be fun. I also usually make characters who are super charismatic, so it's kind of cool to play a character who is like such like an oddball. Like in the campaign right now, they don't fully like realize that I'm a dead person, so that's really fun. Just like the implications of like this literal zombie just walking around. He's also like cold to the touch, which was pretty fun. That's just something I think it's the species comes with. And he's also cold resistant, so it just works out in a lot of fun ways when it comes to role playing. I didn't really, for the other tieflings, I gave them like magnificent horns. I didn't really think about horns. It was sort of last second for me. I didn't even like, when I made the character sheet and I heard tiefling, I didn't even know what those really looked like. So I'm like, oh sure, I'll add a tiefling. I'll make it a tiefling. It'll probably like be cool. So didn't know they have horns. Didn't know they had those like eyes with no pupils, and it's all sclera. Sclera? Yeah, sclera. Fixing the eyes here because I have just no clue what I'm doing, and they don't really look good when I'm done fixing them, but it like sort of adds a little bit more emotion to the character. I don't know. The color scheme is a little bit different than what I had originally because I just felt this color scheme, not the color scheme, but like where the colors were. It was a little confusing on the previous drawing as to like what everything was because some of the colors don't like really match the areas they were in. Like the whole design got lost a lot, so. Yeah. Oh, I'm adding. So as the like book is like eating away at this body, this carcass, it's sort of like frostbiting like areas of him. I don't know. I thought it was cool. It's a cool effect I added. I'll work on the relevance of that later. Like maybe the book is definitely like eating him alive from like the inside out and the outside in. So I just want to show that, I guess, with the frostbite. But also it's like It's weird because my character really is cold resistant, so why would he get frostbite? But just look past it. It's just a cool thing. Not 100% sure what it's supposed to be. A part that always tickles me is like how I decided to make the cave like tentacles because like haha Eldritch monster, but like ice Eldritch monster, and I feel like I got my intention behind the designs very well, so I'm happy about it. Oh, and I'm also doing my lazy shadowing where it's just I shift click to sort of get a bunch of straight lines and then what is it, paint bucket it? It's super duper lazy, but I was just like, come on, you gotta finish this faster. Because I want it to work. This character is the most boring for me to draw because the other characters haven't been drawn yet, so it's fun to concept those characters more than it is to redraw something I've already drawn before. I'm very into doing character design. It's sort of my passion. We're almost at the end of this video. I hope the music I picked is good. I'm probably gonna pick like something like North, like Mythic. Oh, I didn't talk about the like why the character has the book. So he went to the cave one day. The other tieflings bullied him about his horns, and then he found the book in the cave, and that's kind of like his whole thing. And now the book's killing him. So